still in the fucking building?
Is it?
Abby.
No!
Abby, don't look.
Dad! Dad! No! No!
Somehow Abby in The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most hated characters in gaming history, but I don't understand why. The Last of Us is a game that is beloved for its deeply emotional narrative, specifically between Joel and Ellie, but on the other hand, The Last of Us Part 2 sparked heated controversy despite all the love shown for the first game. Of course, Abby is the second playable character and many players hate her for a lot of reasons. The most common reasons being her killing Joel, or lazy storyline, or even her masculine characteristics. Yes, people actually have a problem with her having big arms. Despite the backlash, I do believe Abby is a stronger character than others believe, strictly because of two things. One is Abby's redemption as a character, since it's often ignored, specifically her transition from a vengeful life to a merciful life, which is essentially her redemption arc, and two is something that stops most players from even liking her in the first place, but more on that later. For right now, let's get deep into Abby's story.
Dad? Dad? Dad!
4 years before Abby's story officially begins, we see her when she's about 14 years old. She was a Firefly, alongside her dad and her friends like Owen, and they were stationed in Salt Lake City, which was also the same Firefly group that Joel and Ellie reached at the first game. These flashback scenes helps us understand Abby as a character and her relationship with her dad. She was selfless and caring, particularly over those that she cared about, like her father. We realized that the doctor doing surgery for Ellie was Abby's dad, and of course, he died due to Joel's decisions.
Still in the fucking building?
Is it?
Abby.
No!
Abby, don't look.
Dad! Dad! No! No!
This single moment is the emotional trigger that shifts Abby's character from a compassionate daughter to someone consumed by revenge. All the love and the sense of justice she once had was all consumed by vengeance. 1 year goes by and Abby and her friends move to Seattle and join a military group called the WLF, which stands for Washington Liberation Front. This group had control of the entire city of Seattle. This was also the earliest we see Abby after the events with her father and as part of the WLF. Abby seemed like she moved on from everything in the past and even got together with Owen. However, even when it felt like everyone moved on, herself included, she wasn't okay after the tragedy that Joel caused in her life.
Come on, Abby.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Talk to me.
I know all the leads have dried up, but Joel's still out there, you know?
I know. What can I do?
Let's go back. We can still make training.
You go ahead.
What about you?
I'm gonna hang out with the SEALs for a little while.
I'm sorry.
Abby appears to be fine until it's revealed that she feels obligated to not miss training. This simple conversation shows how Abby is strictly training to specifically seek revenge upon Joel and nothing else. Owen clearly feels some type of way about this, and yeah, they eventually broke up somewhere around this time. Even the way Owen reacts is a little disappointing, since even a year later, Abby is still stuck up on revenge. And then several years later, nothing has changed. Abby remains fixated on making Joel pay for what he has done, and Abby was more desperate than ever.
You should blow off training tonight. Abby, when the moon comes
I
out.
found Joel's brother. He's at a settlement out in Wyoming.
How do you know that?
Some fireflies who served with him got picked up at the wall.
I thought he quit like a decade ago.
Yeah.
So, have these guys heard from him since?
It's a lead. I gotta see it through.
Okay, but you know that even if he is there, and you do find him, he might not know where Joel is, right? Did you tell the others?
Everyone's on board. Mel included. We can leave next week.
Isaac's never gonna let that many people go off base.
He already did.
Bullshit.
Who's more about justice than Isaac? He knows what Joel's done. Hey. We're doing this together, right?
Of course.
This scene says a lot about how desperate Abby was. Abby could not live with the fact that Joel is alive. She continues to buy into leads. Abby's proposal, however, was to find Joel's brother, Tommy, since they might have found him through a lead. Owen counters Abby's proposal, reminding her that it doesn't make sense, which is true. Going all the way from Seattle to Wyoming to possibly not find Joel but his brother, it was completely unrealistic to pursue something like that, especially to seek revenge for something that happened years ago. And Owen was the only one that questioned her continuing the cycle of violence. However, that is who Abby became. She was filled with so much retribution that she was willing to try anything. Fast forward in time, Abby and her friends go to Jackson to initially find Tommy, but they coincidentally find Joel and end up killing him. This moment was extremely controversial, with many players criticizing the writers for lazy storytelling. Some argued that Abby and Joel's coincidental meeting, along with Joel letting his guard down around strangers, felt forced and unrealistic. Although I do believe there could have been a better way in killing Joel, I can assume they made it quote-unquote lazy due to pacing issues. Despite the controversy of how Abby ends up killing Joel, the plot still progresses the same way, and Abby finally got what she wanted.
Joel, please get up! No! No!
Burning hell, pendejo.
I'll fucking kill you!
Whoa, what are you doing? Manny,
Cleaning up.
no. We're here for him. That's it.
It's too risky to leave them alive.
Too fucking bad.
He's right. We can't have loose ends.
We killed them. We're no better than he was. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, look at my face.
Fuck your face. You should have been guarding the upstairs like I told you to. Move! Back up.
Calm down.
Or what? Back the fuck up!
Calm down!
Jordan! You shoot me?
Stop!
We're done.
You can say Abby is satisfied with killing Joel, at least in the beginning. However, Abby's face after the last strike expresses no signs of pleasure. Her face just progressively looks more terrified of what she's done while her friends argue in the back. Abby finally completes her revenge mission. However, all it does is cause more trauma for not only her, but everyone in that room.
Abby. Oh.
First day back in Seattle, and Abby and her friends are still haunted by the way they killed Joel. Abby's nightmare just shows how her loss and grief only deepen her trauma instead of healing it.
Been searching everywhere for you. We've been called up. Isaac wants us at the front.
Soon later, Abby finds out that Owen has been AWOL and supposedly betrayed the WLF to help Scars, also known as Seraphites. Seraphites are the rivals of the WLF, and they are always killed on sight. So it would be strange if Owen supposedly killed a Wolf member who was also considered his friend to defend an enemy of the opposite team. Because of this, Abby didn't believe the rumors and also went AWOL to find Owen. Many players look past this small decision as it just continues the story. However, this is the first time we see Abby as the protagonist rather than the antagonist. She is willing to defy Isaac, the feared leader of the WLF, to go after Owen. As you get closer and closer to Owen and kill all the Seraphites in your path, this happens.
Get the fuck off me!
It looks like Abby's fate has come. Seraphites got a hold of her and she was on the verge of getting killed, until they got interrupted.
Yara! Where is the other apostate? Clip her wings.
Demons are coming. Cut her down. She's one of them.
Lev.
Abby's introduced to two new characters, Yara and Lev, who are also Seraphites. But because of the infected, they were quick to join forces and work together. And of course, Lev saved Abby's life, making it easier to trust each other in survival. Despite Abby teaming up with two Seraphites, she was also quick to show sympathy to them just moments after. You can hear Abby's minor dialogue with Lev for the first time.
How's the arm?
I have it under control.
Okay. Grab any supplies you find.
We can't touch this stuff. It's old wolf.
Are you... You need supplies. We're not out of the woods yet. Never seen scars going after scars before.
Seraphites.
What the hell did you do?
I shaved my head.
Fine, don't tell me. I really don't care.
Abby's tone and dialogue gives a sense of compassion, but also a sense of carelessness, reinforcing their dissociation. Regardless, Abby, Yara, and Lev manage to get out while Abby helps them find a safe place.
Lock it.
Come help me with this. Hey, it just needs to be set. Okay. You know how to do that?
Cut that into strips. Lean back.
Okay.
I'm gonna move it, okay? You ready?
What's your name?
Abby. Thanks for cutting me down. This area gets a lot of traffic. Whatever shape she's in, we need to get out of here by tomorrow.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Again, Abby doesn't show much emotion, but still helps them nonetheless. As Abby steps outside the trailer, her need to tell Lev that they should leave by tomorrow reveals her true compassion as a character. This is especially true since she is making sure that Yara and Lev make it out alive despite them being Seraphites.
Owen?
That's fucking cruel.
Abby gets right back on track and reaches Owen at the aquarium. They finally get to talk about why Owen went AWOL and why he betrayed the WLF. Owen was completely tired of the WLF and saw hope in finding the Fireflies, as they were supposedly regrouping, and Abby had nothing good to say about it.
Tired, Abby? I don't want to fight over land that I don't give a fuck about anymore. I'm going to Santa Barbara.
To chase a rumor?
I've heard it more than once.
The Fireflies aren't regrouping. They're gone.
It's a lead. I gotta see it through.
Okay. We'll talk in the morning when you're sober.
Don't do that.
Do what?
Treat me like I'm fucking insane. You feel the same way.
Sorry I grew up. You should try it.
Oh yeah? How do I do that, Abby? Should I go find the people that killed my family? Cut into them? I could torture them until they're crying, you know?
This conversation Abby and Owen had reminds me a lot of their conversation before going to Jackson. Again, Abby and Owen disagree, but this time Owen is being optimistic and Abby is being realistic. Abby is quick to shut down Owen's hope, and Owen, out of instinct, fights it back with Abby's past. The traumatic past that she thought she healed from, but was just more terrified every time it was brought up. That same night, Abby had another nightmare. However, it was a nightmare she never experienced.
What?
I love this scene so much because this nightmare reveals more than just Yara and Lev. Their presence in Abby's subconscious proves that she has begun to see them as more than enemies, which is the turning point for Abby's redemption arc. Yara and Lev replacing her father's figure in the dream symbolizes her responsibility for their death. All this time, Abby carries the burden of her father's death and begins to do the same for Yara and Lev. Her nightmare is a wake-up call as she sees these two Seraphite kids as more than just faceless enemies, but sees them as people. Abby takes this opportunity to resurface her guilt from her father's death and reassure that they're okay.
Those fucking kids.
She eventually comes back and notices that Yara is doing a lot worse, so she took her straight to Owen's aquarium for any help. Mel was coincidentally there and told Abby that she could do surgery on Yara, but she needed the right supplies. Abby begins to have a sense of urgency, especially because Yara only had 2 to 3 hours to make it, and Abby was completely dedicated to making it happen. Abby and Lev are now out for day 2, and they're using the Seraphite bridges to get to the Seattle hospital and back.
Why did you come back for us?
Guilt.
Of what? You don't owe us anything.
I just needed to lighten the load a bit.
This was more about progressing the story, however day 2 gave time for Abby and Lev to truly know each other beyond the fact that they're enemies. Lev's love for his family and his curiosity about the world begins to change Abby's character. She questions her loyalty to the WLF after seeing Lev become more than an enemy. He's a person, just like Abby.
Got someone in the water! Trespasser?
I'm a wolf! Don't shoot! It's me! It's Abby!
Abby and Lev finally reached the Seattle hospital to get the materials they need. Of course, Abby went alone, and it wasn't long until she also got caught for being able.
Shit.
You're gonna dislocate your shoulder. Wow. I never thought I'd see you on Isaac's bad side.
Never thought I'd see you on Isaac's bad side. It's not a big detail, but Nora really highlights how Abby wasn't the same person she once was. She went from being a loyal and trustworthy soldier, having Isaac see her as a reliable asset, to someone betraying everything she once stood for. Although it was Lev and Yara that changed Abby's character, it was more about finding humanity in them. Abby didn't hesitate to lie to Nora either, saying that the supplies were for Owen, even though it was for a Seraphite. And we know that Abby and Nora are close friends. I just want to point that out. They now make it back on time for Yara's surgery and everything seems to be okay. Abby begins to find this new sense of hope she was looking for.
Is she gonna be okay?
Yeah, actually. Hey.
They're just kids.
I know.
What happened to us?
Maybe we stopped looking for the light.
Maybe. I'm gonna go check on the girl.
Okay.
Abby finally found humanity in her heart and ended the unnecessary cycle of violence. And now Abby was able to rest with her father's death. When Abby asked Owen what happened to us, she was not talking about their past relationship, but questioning what happened to them as people. This is when I realized how important Owen was as a character. He was the only person that constantly wanted more to life than just revenge. And this moment was when Abby realized she wanted the same thing. Day 3 begins and Abby wakes up in the middle of the night and runs into Mel. And it was something Abby didn't expect. Mel was pretty worked up with Abby and she finally let her know that here.
Owen invited them to come to Santa Barbara. That is very Owen. I figured you'd have talked him out of going by now.
Actually, I'm going with them. But not if you come.
What?
He may fall for your little act with these kids, but I don't.
There's nothing to fall for.
Isaac's top scar killer suddenly had a change of heart? Nothing to do with Owen, right?
I haven't always done the right thing.
You're a piece of shit, Abby. You always have been.
I'm done with you. You want to do right by these kids? Get out of their lives before you screw them over too.
The first time I saw this scene, it was a bit confusing. Abby and Mel were never extremely close, and somehow this argument broke her. But as I look back, it reminded Abby about her past, the past that she continuously tries to run from. Abby progressively builds hope, a new future for herself, and she's ready to embrace that. And Mel haunts her with the fact that she's just a terrible person, and saving 2 kids won't change that. To be fair, Mel's anger was driven by jealousy because of Owen and Abby's connection. Nonetheless, Abby's past continues to collide with her future. Just moments after, Lev and Yara have an argument and Lev runs off to the Seraphite Island. Of course, Abby and Yara go to save him and Abby runs into someone in the process.
Get down! Abby, what the fuck?
Manny tells Abby about the trespassers in the city and Abby seems confused. I mean, we know that it might be Ellie or Jesse, but in this case, it was Tommy.
Screw it. Let's just...
Who was that?
Shit. It doesn't matter. Let's get Lev and get back to the aquarium.
The look on Abby's face shakes me every time, especially after seeing Manny die the way that he did. Her sense of panic and urgency knowing that she is specifically being hunted down for what she did to Joel is scary. Again, it just symbolizes how her past was still following her, even while carving a new future. Abby and Yara finally made it to the island and found Lev. This was also the same time the WLF was invading the island, and so Abby was caught in the midst of it all.
This way.
Got one! Abby?
Yara! Yara, get up! Yara, please!
Lev, we need to move.
Come on! I can't leave her here! Stay back! Drop it! Now!
Oh, shit.
It's Abby! I said stay back!
Stand down.
Isaac.
What the hell are you doing?
I need you to hear me out.
What's that behind you?
He saved my life.
Move out of the way. We'll deal with you back home.
He's not one of them, please.
Abby, move.
God damn it, he's just a kid!
You have 3 seconds to get away from that scar. 1,
You really gonna shoot me?
2.
I'm not fucking moving.
No!
What the fuck?
Lev, we need to move. She's gone. Oh my god, she's gone. Lev, come on. Those were your fucking people.
Hey, you're my people!
Listen to me. We're gonna have to fight to get out of this, okay? And then I need you to show us to those boats. We don't let anybody stop us. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Follow me.
Abby was finally faced with not just the WLF but Isaac, and Abby opposed them. Confronting Isaac forces Abby to make a final decision, her loyalty to the WLF or her newfound humanity. By defying Isaac, Abby finally rejects her old identity as a soldier and embraces her role as Lev's protector. Yara's death causes this transformation, making Abby's break from the WLF irreversible. Abby and Lev successfully escaped the island and returned back to the aquarium. However, Abby found something unexpected.
Abby.
Seeing Mel and Owen dead completely breaks Abby. She is overwhelmed with guilt and sorrow. Abby was responsible for killing Joel, and therefore was responsible for bringing Ellie and Tommy to Seattle. Again, Abby is suffering and being reminded of her past. Abby, out of anger, chases Ellie and Tommy back to the theater, and she is filled with vengeance. Despite all her growth, seeing Owen and Mel dead reignites this cycle of vengeance. She reverts back to violence as a coping mechanism, proving that change isn't instant. It's a constant battle. However, when Abby was about to end it all, Lev's presence reminds her of the cycle of violence she was trying to escape.
Stop! She had nothing to do with it. She's pregnant. Good. Abby!
Don't ever let me see you again. Come on.
In sparing Ellie and Dina, Abby proves how much she has changed. The conflict between her past and the future she wants finally ends at that moment. Abby's journey from revenge to redemption is one of the most complex character arcs in the game. Her transformation is not immediate or simple. It is shaped by loss, trauma, and relationships she built along the way. While Abby's past continuously haunts her, she ultimately chooses a different path, proving that true redemption comes not from revenge, but from breaking the cycle of violence. Some of you may be thinking, if Abby isn't so bad, why is she so hated? Well, yeah, it's your level of perspective. That's the whole reason Abby exists in the first place. At first, the game presents Abby as someone to hate, only later to force us to empathize with her. Her perspective is what makes The Last of Us Part 2 the game that it is. Yet many players dismiss her story simply because of how they first see her, the one who killed Joel. However, when I played the game for a second time, I realized how important it was to see Abby as more than just that. The shift in perspective reminds us that in any story, there is more than just one side, and true understanding requires us to look beyond our initial biases. While Abby's past continuously haunts her, she ultimately chooses a different path, proving that healing is possible, even in a world defined by violence. And in the end, the game asks us, if she can change, can we?